Hey everyone, we've been joined by Jules from Asmodee.
Hi, Rodney.
And you've brought another game with you. What is this here?
This is Splendor. It's from a new publishing company in France called Space Cowboys, and from the author Marc-André. It plays 2 to 4 players, and 10 and up. So it's very accessible to almost everybody.
I have a confession. This isn't my first exposure to the game. I did get a copy of this. I played it with my group, my gaming group, and then we played it again, and then again, and again and again. And when I break out games at my game group, we play a game once usually, and then what else you got, Rodney? And then we play the next thing. This thing hooked us. It really did. And it was super simple to teach.
It is.
But I'll let you take the reins there. What do we do in the game?
So basically, the object of the game is to accumulate mines, ships, and artisans in order to get prestige. And the game is all about acquiring prestige points. The end of the game is triggered when you hit 15 points. However, everybody gets an equal turn, and the player with the most amount of points at the end of that wins the game.
Okay. So these are different cards that we can acquire, and
Correct.
some of them, like this one here, would provide you with 1 point.
Exactly.
So what do I do on a turn?
So basically, you can do 4 things on a turn.
Okay.
The first thing you want to do, obviously, in the game is you want to acquire these chips. These will allow you to buy the cards that are here before us. So I have 2 options when I'm picking chips. I can either take 3, each different color.
Yes.
Or if there's at least 4 chips in one of these poker chip stacks, I can take 2 of the same color.
Okay.
So that's the first step, which is really 1 and 2. The second thing I can do is I can take one of these yellow gold chips, which is also counts as a joker.
It's kind of like a wow. It can
Exactly.
represent any one of these kinds of chips, right?
Correct.
Okay.
And then what I can do is I can reserve a card and stop you from acquiring that card, and hold it in my hand, and at a later turn I can go ahead and build that again.
Okay.
And I can use this as my chip. One key point to note in this game is you can't hoard all the chips. You're only allowed to have a maximum of 10 in front of you at a given time. So eventually you're going to have to put the chips back and make them available to your opponent. So the fourth thing you can do is you can purchase cards from the playing area.
Right.
The cost of the card is indicated on the bottom corner. So for example, this card would cost you 1 white, 1 green, 1 red, and 1 black. Other cards vary in cost, having less colors, but you need 2 of each, or so on and so forth. The cards get progressively more expensive as you go up from the 3 decks. So these you'd want to buy early on in the game, and then these, not only are they more expensive, the reason is they produce chips just like the other ones do, but they're also worth prestige points at the end. And then at the end, the big score is on the top deck. Once you purchase a card, you lay it down in front of you, the row gets refilled. And so
That'd be over to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And what's interesting here is these cards, as you were saying, once they're face up in front of you, they're providing this resource. For example, if I had this one in front of me and I was trying to, say, buy this card, it would cost me 1 black chip, 2 green, and only 1 blue, because this symbol is the same as a chip.
Correct.
This doesn't count against my 10 chip limit either, right? I could have 10 chips and have this one in front of me, right? Okay, so this allows us to sort of build that engine, like you were talking about, right?
Yep.
So it's not worth points, but it's still useful.
Right, and usually when there's no points on the card, the cost of that card, like I said, is a little bit cheaper, so you may want to collect those early on in the game and then go for the big score. The strategy changes as the market evolves as well, and so you sort of have to adapt your strategy as you're moving along in the game, and since the board changes because players are purchasing cards,
right.
What you may thought you wanted 1 turn ago is no longer there.
Yeah, sometimes I'll have cards in my hand, because we talked about reserving the card, right?
Right.
I haven't purchased at that point. So when I purchase a card, I can either purchase one here, or I can say, okay, I'm ready now to put this one face up in front of me. Sometimes I'll get a card in my hand because I want it, and then things change, and I'm like, okay, I'm not ready to build this now. I need something else here.
Or you may just want to reserve the card not to let your opponent have it.
Yeah.
And that's part of the game, right? Especially towards the end of the game when, people are trying to score the big points, and you can see the resources they have laid out in front of them. I just might take this card with the yellow chip just so you can't finish the game.
Yeah.
Because I'm not ready and I'm doing my own thing.
And you can't undervalue these. They're wild. So reserving just gives you this wild that can be used as anything, which is quite valuable in its own right. What about these guys up here? These are the nobles, right?
These are the nobles. The nobles, you can collect 1 per turn, and you have to meet the criteria that's on the noble card. So once I've collected, say for example, the 3 black cards from this, and they would be laid out in front of me, and I would have the combination of 3 black, in this case it's 3 green, 3 blue, and 3 red out in
Right.
front of me, I would automatically get this. The important thing is you can only take one per turn.
So if you happen to have
Multiple.
4 blue and 4 white, you have to pick which one you want.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so you want to pay attention to what other people have collected again, and so that's where the interaction of the game comes in.
And there's more than just 3 of these nobles that come in the box, but these don't refill, right? This is for the length of the game. This is what you
Exactly. So this is the 2-player setup, so we only put out 3 nobles.
Right.
But if you're playing 3 or 4 players, there would actually be 4 out here, and there's multiple nobles in the box. And so you can change them every time you play, so the combination varies.
So to help you see how all this comes together, we've jumped ahead here and pretended we've played a few turns. We've got some resources built up here. We've got some developments in front of us. Let's show how you can buy some of these cards, complete some things, and maybe grab some nobles at the same time.
Right.
Sound good?
Sure.
Okay.
So I believe it's your turn, so I'll let you go ahead and work it out.
I've got quite a nice collection of cards here already, and some that are worth points. I think I have a total of 10 points here.
Yep.
Oh, that's pretty good. Well, now I'd like to pick up and buy something here, and particularly I'd like a green, because if I can get a green, I'll have 3 green cards, 3 blue cards, and 3 red cards.
Yep.
Enough to attract this noble.
Correct.
So if I look over here, that one's, I can't afford that one. This one here is actually worth points. I like the look of that one. So this would require 3 in white. I have 2 cards already in 1 chip, so if I trade this in, I got 3 white.
Exactly.
2 green, no problem. 3 red,
You're
got
covered.
it. So
That's
I'm
yours.
taking this. I'm adding it in.
And then this gets restocked here as well.
And this is a free thing that happens. The nobles see what I've accomplished, and we want to deal
reward
with
you.
you, right? So
Exactly.
he comes over here. That's 3 points plus the point off this card, 14.
Exactly.
Okay, so you're in trouble here
I am in trouble.
because I have so many resources. I can start looking at this 3rd row for sure. right?
Exactly. And then, so what happens is, I look at the cards now, and I see that you're only missing 2 blues, which you can easily acquire these chips that are available
Yes.
here on that turn. So what I'm going to do, in order for you not to finish, is I'm going to take this card, and I'm going to hold it in my hand, and I'm going to get a yellow chip instead of acquiring chips instead.
Right.
And then we'll restock this.
Hopefully something good comes out for me here.
Yep. That's a
Pretty close,
decent-
except for the red. So you have slowed me down.
I have,
Yeah.
but now it would be your turn, and you could go ahead and choose the chips that you would require to complete the game. And so we just continue like that till one of us would hit 15.
Yeah.
We would then have one more round of the table,
Yeah.
and make sure everybody has the same amount of turns. And so it's possible that you pass 15 points. You can actually go to 16, 17, 18 points, and that's pretty much how the game is played.
Right, I might get the 15, but you might be able to come back and get the
Yeah, so if I have one more turn and one of these cards is available that's worth like 5 points, it might make me go over the top. So-
Right, exactly. Well, I think that's a really good overview. Hopefully you guys have a good sense of how this game plays. When's this game going to be available?
It'll be available. We're going to start shipping it to stores on March 26th.
Okay, perfect. Well, listen, again, I want to thank you very much for giving us a really
Thank
good
you,
overview
Ryan.
of this. This is really cool, and I hope you enjoyed it as well. Till the next time, thanks again.
Thanks.